What's good, everybody? So recently I've been going on my Instagram and I've been noticing that a lot of the videos that I post seem to be doing a lot better than the photos that I post. And don't get me wrong, I put a lot of time and effort into the photos and I believe they're like pretty decent. But for whatever reason, the videos, no matter like how simple the editing is, people just tend to gravitate over to that. And I noticed it has a lot more views and a lot more likes. And I've been wondering what may be causing this, and is photography dying altogether? And my honest opinion, I don't believe photography is dying, but you gotta think about it in the sense that photography is simply one picture, whereas video is hundreds of pictures smack you in the face within a couple of seconds. So naturally, I think people would want to see a video over just one simple picture. So to bridge the gap, I've been seeing a lot of people do this common trend, and I've been trying to get into it myself, and that's cinemagraphs. And if you don't know what cinemagraphs are, it's pretty much a photo and a video put together where you'll have a still image and you'll have some video elements within that still image. Simply saying cinema plus photograph, cinemagraph. So today I figured, you know what, let me just make a little tutorial if anybody was interested on adding cinemagraphs to their portfolio, because I feel like it's a really cool way to spice up your whole photos in general, compared to the average picture. And it'll help you stand out, and it's a new wave, so let's jump on that bitch. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So now that we have Final Cut open, by the way, I'm using Final Cut Pro X. For all you Adobe people out there, you could definitely do the same things over there. I just don't know how, but I'm sure you guys could translate that over for you guys. So this was a project that I did for a local bakery, and pretty much I just wanted to get a cool shot of their 3 upcoming products, which looks like a little swirl. I don't even know what the names of these things are. I don't work for them anymore, so I don't really care. But yeah, it's 3 dessert items, right? And pretty much I just wanted to have the lights flicker as you saw in the beginning video. So what I did, I just made a little short video. Camera has to be on a tripod in order to have the best effect for cinemagraphs. And what we're gonna do now is pretty much find an area within this video that is the most still, and pretty much know like if you see a little bit there, it's the focus is trying to mess me up a little bit, but we don't want to find any of that. Around here looks pretty good. As you can see the lights flicker and there's no in and out of focus. So what I'm gonna go about right here. I'm gonna go to my blade tool, I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna follow until I see another shift. Wow, that's so pretty. Oh, alright, see shift right there. So blade tool, cut. So now this box is all that we're gonna use. And next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna save this current frame. Now, the reason why I save a current frame within the video is because naturally pictures, they use a way higher resolution, and it's very different when you're incorporating a picture into or video into a picture that you use separately. Alright, let me restate that. So on your camera, right, you're in picture mode and you take a picture of this same scenario, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna do the video and then I'm gonna merge them together. Yes, you can do it that way, but as far as complexity and trying to match up the quality all together is very complex, because you got to remember that when you're shooting a picture and you want it to look good, you're messing with the shutter speed, which is one of the main things that kind of messes with cinemagraphs, because you want to have the lowest ISO, but you want to mess with the shutter speed so then it has the right brightness to it. Versus a video, you're kind of limited on how much you could mess with the shutter speed, because usually 1/60th is what you want to keep it at. Otherwise, you're gonna have some blurriness to it. If you you're just gonna mess yourself up. So I highly suggest just taking a video and then taking a still image from that video and then manipulating it later to match the overall product. So let's go into File, go to Share, and save current frame. Now that that's saved, we're gonna jump into Lightroom. I just gotta find my project or my picture. Alright, so this is our picture from Final Cut, and as you can see, it definitely needs some TLC in order to make it look how we would present it to a customer or a client, I should say. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna white balance it a little bit. So I'm gonna say it's a little too much, so it doesn't look too bad there. Too purple. That looks pretty decent right there. Okay, we're gonna bump up exposure last because everything else we're gonna edit is gonna darken the image, so we could kind of see how much we need to do later on. Add a little contrast, maybe about there, a little highlight, bright but not too bright where it's blinding in some areas. A little shadow. Pretty much for food especially, I like to bump all of these up quite a little bit. Helps make the image pop without losing too much quality. Blacks I usually like to turn down, because you don't need much dark elements in there. Clarity, gotta bump it up. Gonna make the food look crazy, appetizing, like you could eat it through a screen. Same with vibrance. Just enough like that. Alright, that's not too bad. Now let's bump up exposure a little bit. Make it, see, too much is just nasty, and you can see like the graininess in there, which we're gonna fix in a little bit. But maybe about 25 is pretty good. Alright, so next up, like I said, the graininess is where Mr. Noise Reduction comes into play. So we don't want it too much, because then the food just looks kind of too cakey, in my opinion. And there, it's not too bad. Got the fineness in there. If anything, we could bump up the sharpening a little bit just to make it pop ever so nicely. Alright, for the sake of the tutorial, I think I'm gonna keep it at about that. Alright, so now that we have this shot, we're gonna go ahead, File, Export, and call it Candle 2. So once we have our shot saved, I'm gonna go ahead and import it back into our Final Cut project, let it render for a second. Alright, now we're gonna expand this out a little bit, and we're gonna put our video on top of the picture. That way our picture is the base and our videos are just the add-ons on top of it. So now we have to think about this. We want the 3 candles flickering. How we're gonna do that? We're gonna need 3 individual videos of the candle flickering, 1 for each candle. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab this, we're gonna copy, we're gonna paste twice, and we're gonna load them right on top of our project, just like that. Delete this black box. Cool. Now we got 3 individual projects. And now, actually, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go into, where am I? I'm going to go into my effects and I'm going to look for mask. Draw mask. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to draw a mask around each of our candles in order to take them out of the video. So let's zoom in a little bit. About 50 is pretty good. First one we're going to do right here, I'm going to mask around the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. We could fix it all later. It's up to you depending on the type of shot. So once we have a mask, we're gonna feather it out ever so slightly. Now it's hard to see feathering when you have the image over everything else. So what we're gonna do, we could disable and just see what our actual image that we're working with looks like. Now I like to feather a little bit into the original shot so then it blends even nicer. You know, it doesn't look like it's rough. And I'll show you an example of that right now. If I were to keep it at say 0, and let me enable this back picture, and you see that horrible lines around it. That's what we want to avoid. So let me disable again, go into here, we're gonna feather this out just about maybe like that. We'll check it and see. Fall off, I like to honestly put fall off all the way 100. It just helps the overall edges blend in together. I might feather it out a little bit more so I can get the top of the candle. Pretty decent. Now let's check again. Enable. And that looks a lot better. You don't see the black lines as much. And yeah, you can see a little flickering in there. Kind of hard to see again because OBS is a pain in the butt, but it's alright. But overall, it blends a lot nicer. So now, since we know what our blend settings is, 87 for feather, 100 for fall off, all we gotta do is mask those over, or copy those over to the rest of the mask. So I'm going to, let me enable all of these since I already know what we're working with. So now that we have all of those masked out, let's let it render and we'll give it a look. Make sure those are off. Alright, let's give it a look. So you got a nice flicker in there over a still image. Now the next thing I want to do is, you can see the flickering, but it's not as dominant as I want it to be. I want it to stand out so that when people see this shot on, say, Instagram, they're not wondering, why is this video? I don't see anything moving, you know, because some people may have their brightness on low or whatever. We don't want those excuses. We want to make these things pop out. So we're going to color correct it. So let's go ahead and copy all 3 of our candles, and we're going to make it a new compound clip. Just going to keep it stock name for now. So it's just going to make it a lot easier when we're going to edit the color over all 3 shots rather than doing it individually. That sounds like a pain in the ass. So, color board, and we can do color. First thing I'll probably do is saturation. Bring it up, make it nice and orange yellow. Hell, let's see what all the way looks like. Let's give it a shot. Alright, I gotta let it render. OBS is a pain in the ass. 1 second. Alright, finally done. Oh boy. So now, let's check it out. Nice and orange. And now I in all honesty, it's a little too orange in my opinion. So I'm probably gonna turn down the saturation so slightly, maybe about there. We can mess around with the colors a little bit, give it a weird glow if you wanted to, or just make it a nice subtle glow. I kind of like that a little bit. Exposure, I'm honestly not gonna touch. I maybe can to bring it out a little more too, maybe slight increase, and that looks about good. I'm not gonna let this one render because it just takes so damn long, but you could kind of get the idea of what we're working with here. So let's see. Yeah, I gotta let it render, but you got the idea. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, we have a super clean overall shot of the food and the background, and on top of that we have flickering candles just to spice it up, because why not, rather than the candles just being still and looking boring. So next we could do is, you could, like I was saying before, crop it to however we like. I could take out this bottom area there. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it's like the edge of the table. Just bring that up ever so slightly. OBS, bro, come on. There we go. Shit, oh, it's so hard. Alright, so yeah, take that out. Done. One day it would fix itself, don't worry about it. So now that we have our Cinemagraph pretty much ready to upload, another thing that I like to do that I notice has a big impact on Instagram videos in general is the quality. Quality is a major thing, because I've noticed that I would try exporting my videos in say 1080p, and when it uploads on Instagram it honestly looks like 240p or some shit. So one thing I've noticed, a slight increase in video, no matter even if you shot the video in 1080p, I like to go into File, Share, and Apple devices 4K. Like I said, doesn't matter if you shot in 1080p or in actual 4K. I just like to export it in 4K, so then it leaves all of whatever room open for any peaks in quality to stand out, and for the overall result to be hella sexy. That was pretty much the whole tutorial right there. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, please leave a comment on if you guys want me to do another one. I'll totally be down, or anything else that you guys want to see, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.